Hello, and welcome to the RunPee YouTube channel. I'm Dan Gardner, creator and developer for the RunPee app, the app that tells you the best time to run and pee without missing the best scenes in a movie. And this is RunPee Mom.
And to those I didn't give birth to, I'm RunPee Ginger. I do pee times for almost all of the animated films. Why, you ask? Because I am a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. So I have seen every animated film that has come out since the 1960s.
We're here today because if you love the MCU, then you probably have someone in your life that equally doesn't love it, as much as you might have tried to sway them. And this time last year, that would have been me. I knew very little about the MCU.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Basically, what it meant to me was it was a lot of movies that I continually saw previews for that I didn't want to see. So, no, I wasn't impressed.
Yeah. So, Vera and I decided that we were going to do a complete rewatch of all of the movies in the MCU leading up to Avengers Infinity War. And since she's living here, she's kind of a captive audience, and reluctantly sat in with us and began watching.
Oh, reluctantly is not the word.
So let's tell the audience what I caught you doing in your room alone last night, again.
Again, I was watching Thor Ragnarok for the 14th time.
See, you just told everyone your deepest, darkest secret.
Dude, come on. I think you're overreacting a little bit.
So when we re-watched the series last year, we started with Iron Man,
Yes.
which we actually watched together when it originally came out
That we
back
did.
in 2008.
Was it 2008?
I know. That was before the RunPee app came out, just a few months.
Unbelievable.
The RunPee website actually came out later that summer.
Yes.
Yeah, so we saw that together. So what was your thoughts on rewatching it?
I just couldn't decide if I wanted to rewatch it or kill myself.
That wasn't that bad.
No,
Okay.
no, but that was kind of my mindset.
Yeah, you just weren't really into it.
No, and I thought, okay, so we've got, 17 movies to
16 more after that.
Yay.
There's 18 actually, but we don't count Hulk. So at what point during the MCU series did you start getting interested in it?
Thor. I mean, that sums it up. Thor. When I first saw Thor, I thought, I will watch anything with this hunka burning love in it. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, does he need CPR? Because I totally know CPR.
It was when I saw Thor because I saw another character other than Iron Man, and I was never really that impressed with Iron Man. Sorry, Robert. But Thor, when he was introduced as a character, it was like, this is fun. This is going to be fun.
So if you're an MCU fan, you're probably familiar with the overall plot of the first 17 movies leading up to Avengers Infinity War. And to those who haven't watched the movies, they probably feel like it's too daunting to try to get and put all of this stuff together.
Sure.
But in fact, it's really pretty simple.
It is.
If you had to summarize the plot of all 17 movies just to get somebody ready for, Avengers Infinity Wars, what kind of peacetime synopsis would you write?
A peacetime synopsis, okay? There are 6 stones floating around out there in the universe, and we're not talking big stones, they're little stones that you can...
Gems.
Yeah, gems that you can actually wear as a necklace if you want. And then...
The Infinity Necklace, that would go over well.
I know, oh, yeah.
That's
we should make
Miss,
those.
Yeah, that's for Miss Thanos.
Yeah, for Miss Thanos, right.
Yeah. I was talking about like a pretty necklace or a nice hat, something make the other girls go, ooh, that's nice.
And there is a villain who fancies himself as an environmentalist, and he wants the 6 stones to what he perceives as making the universe better. And the Avengers are there to stop him.
That's about it.
That is it.
Yeah.
That is
So,
it.
I mean, if you wanted to just plot-wise jump in and go see Infinity War, that's about all you need to know. But you know what you'd really be missing is the character development and the relationship development that goes along. Like, you wouldn't really care what happened to the characters in the movie if you didn't know them. Speaking of which, if you had to pick out your personal top 5 movies,
Thor.
not the movies that you need to see
Thor. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So your favorite top 5 movies from the MCU?
Oh my gosh, Thor Ragnarok for sure. And then the 2 Guardians of the Galaxy. And I kind of put them side by side. It's hard to separate the 2 of them. And I will say that I was really hooked with Guardians because it is a hysterically funny movie. It was directed by James Gunn, who did a spectacular job with both of them.
And he's back for the 3rd movie.
Yeah, and they brought him back for the 3rd movie.
We are Groot.
And 2 more, and I think that would be Spider-Man. It was fresh, it was new, it was funny.
They finally got Spider-Man right.
They finally got him right. And then last, I think the Avengers movie where...
The first one?
Yes,
Yeah,
the first one,
okay.
where most of them are all brought together.
Yeah.
And that's
Where
where
it
we...
was Avengers Assemble. Some
Yes.
assembly required was the tagline.
That's
So,
right, that's right. And it is at this point that we really start to see the different personalities of all of these superheroes, or super egos,
Yeah.
you might
Because
say.
there's plenty of conflict.
There is conflict.
So if you're an MCU fan trying to convert someone who's not interested in the MCU into watching all the movies,
Right.
if you had to pick one movie that you think once somebody sees this, they're going to want to see more, what one movie would you start with?
Oh my goodness, Guardians of the Galaxy. Why, you ask? Because it is fun, it's fresh, it introduces characters that you will absolutely fall in love with and care a lot about also. So I would have to say Guardians because it's hysterically funny.
Yeah, and I think that one works really well too because it's independent of all the movies that came prior.
Right.
So kind of any of the other movies, you would be missing some bit of character and relationship development. But
Exactly.
this one stands completely on its own in the universe.
Yeah, and once you see Guardians, you have to see the rest of them. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us in our first RunPee video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you didn't enjoy it, I'd still like you to hit the like button.
I would too.
Yeah. And if you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe. And of course, if there's somebody in your life that you love dearly and you think you could love them more if they knew about the MCU, then share this video with them.
Absolutely. And I will just...
I love her more now that she's into the MCU.
Yeah, and I love him more, you know.
And if you'd like to have more information about the movies that we discussed, just click the description down below for details.
Yes. And also, there are quizzes that I have done about all of the MCU characters and movies. It's a lot of fun, and you'll learn a little something about
Yeah, I
them
learned
too.
some trivia that I didn't know.
Right, yeah.
I can't believe I learned things about the MCU from my mother.
What can I say? I just want to end this by saying, yeah, I am a great-grandmother. And not the typical demographics for these movies. But for everyone, there is something in these movies. For everyone.